I just read this article that I wanted to talk to you about, get your opinion on it, talking about the current state of small businesses and AI adoption.
Okay.
The survey was done towards the end of 2025, so it's a little bit behind, but it found that 68% of all small businesses use AI, which sounds really good. But then when you kind of peel back the layer, most of that is just like using ChatGPT very infrequently.
Yeah. And how does it say how they're using it?
The most common one is writing emails, brainstorming, or like content generation. So it's very much just,
Yeah.
I need text that relates to this,
I need
which is
words.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a good time saver. But we're going to look at taking that to the next level. Only 15 to 20% of those businesses actually have a plan, an AI
Strategy.
strategy. Where the businesses that actually have a strategy for it find the most value is from like high volume, repetitive tasks that they can just fully automate.
Yeah.
So that includes the marketing content, which they're already doing, but then that can also be for customer support or like documentation and like data summarization. So a lot of that time consuming, just looking at text, converting it to documents, all of that could be automated better.
Or trying, like, you want to ask a question of a document, like you have a 5,000 word document and you need to know which part of it pertains to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
probably the most common. Yeah. Here's a business contract. What does it say about this? Or can I do this?
Yeah. And then maybe double check that if you're about to sign a contract based on the AI summary.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Does it say, so the customer service thing, that sounds a little more complex. What else does it say about that?
Yeah, well, we will get to that. So let's start with the strongest ROI, which is marketing. So that's going to be the content generation, blog posts, social media. There's a stat here. A marketing coordinator who previously spent 4 hours drafting a week's worth of social posts can do that under an hour now. So that's like a major time saver.
Yeah.
So yeah, small businesses that use AI for their marketing save about 5 to 15 hours per week.
Okay.
And then the second strongest area is going to be the customer service. And this study was primarily talking about chatbots that know when to escalate to a human.
Yeah.
So just having that first surface of answer the customer questions very easily, having that saves like 50% of the normal time that a small business would spend answering those questions for customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the main thing is just to escalate it. Don't trap your customers in a chatbot.
A loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where the AI ROI is weaker for small businesses, a lot of the main examples this study found was complex financial analysis. And that can be because the data sets are too small to justify the use of it. So it's not necessarily saying the AI can't do a good job. It's just the time and the cost of the AI tools maybe doesn't make sense for the smaller businesses. Next to that is strategic planning. So it's good for quick brainstorming, but if you're going to actually set a strategy for your business, it definitely would pay off way more to talk to other people in the industry, people, mentors, people you trust, to get that human input on the strategy itself. And then the final one where the ROI is weak is like the high stakes legal or compliance work.
Yeah.
Definitely want to make sure you don't want to trust the AI on something that could have bad consequences.
Yeah. Did this article mention how they are calculating ROI? Is it just time saved, or is it considering time saved or like increased profit or revenue generation?
Yeah, it's specifically just talking about time saved in this article.
Okay. Gotcha. And so from top to bottom of highest ROI to least ROI, we have marketing content, customer service, chatbots, finances, strategic planning, and legal and compliance.
Yeah. Those are the examples here. I'm sure you could find more examples that would slot in there somewhere, but.
Where was this article from, by the way?
This is from Digital Applied.
Digital Applied. Okay.
Yeah. The study was done by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Some other recommendations this article has, it says 77% of companies don't have any kind of AI policy. So that recommends build out exactly how you're going to use AI tools, what you're going to allow, what data you're going to send in there. You don't want to be sending customer data and open yourself up to a data leak.
Yeah.
So just take the time, take an hour or two, and just write out specifically how you'll use it and just the guidelines around it.
Yeah. So do you think so? I've been thinking a lot lately. How do these businesses be fast and pivot and adopt quickly while also being safe? It's like you gotta have a couple of leaders in your business that are able to go experiment and try things out. And then those people document, what they did, their findings, and then how to safely use those AI tools. Like for the social media person, for example, they're probably using Chat GPT or Claude. They're throwing in all their business info or like, we need this kind of social media post. They're putting it in there. Then do they like they just are using probably their own Chat GPT account or they're asking their boss to pay for it since they're using it. But like I feel like that one's a lot tougher to get multiple people on board because with a shared Chat GPT account, like you could add files to it, share custom GPTs that have company specific info, and now your marketing and salespeople are talking to the same Chat GPT. I feel like a lot of businesses don't actually realize that you can do that and have one big AI bot that's kind of your business brain that can be leveraged by sales and marketing and IT, you know?
Right. So everyone's kind of contributing into the same AI brain essentially, so that
Right.
it kind of pieces together all the different parts of the company rather than a bunch of isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like business owners or whoever's in charge of buying software like really need to consider that. Or if you're an employee using ChatGPT, like you should let your employer know because there's opportunity for other parts of the business to share in that same AI service. Because I know for a fact, like at least when it was first coming out, people were just using whatever AI bots they were using in their personal lives, or they were afraid to admit what they were using
Yeah,
because it's like,
definitely.
well, I'm scrubbing out company info, but
Wink,
whatever.
wink.
Wink, wink. Yeah. And it's like, for one, yeah, are they actually scrubbing out company specific info? And then for two, like, you shouldn't hide your findings. Like, you should share what you're doing. And like, someone needs to buy, a centralized system. There's so many services out there now that are for like, this is your business's AI.
Right. Yeah, it keeps it all contained and organized. Yeah, this study showed the average business spends about 2,400 per year on AI subscriptions.
Wow.
For smaller, they said teams of 10 to 20, that's up to 5,000. So that's
Wow.
just from subscriptions. So I feel like budget ahead of time, figure out your plan for the year when it comes to AI
Yeah.
so that you can look into a centralized system because you could keep it under that budget. But I feel like if it's everyone's just kind of signing up for things here and there, you're gonna, end up spending more than you need to.
Yeah. So the small business, like less than like what, 10 people, it's like $200 a month is about what they're spending.
Yeah.
And that's including like people using these customer service chatbots.
That's a good question. That's the average, so I would say probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna have to spend a little bit more to actually have the more like
Yeah.
agentic
Cause I
tools.
feel like the customer service, like that's a SaaS. Like you're buying a service that you're feeding
Right.
all your documentation to, you're adding a widget to your site and you're paying for that. That's probably a pretty big contract. I mean, it's at least 1,000 a month just for that.
Yeah.
But cool. I think, yeah, it's funny. In my brain, the highest ROI on this list, the marketing content, is also the most likely to get siloed. Like the person using ChatGPT or Claude for marketing content is probably also very siloed and not using like a company bought AI service, or it's like the business owner is just using their personal one and they're doing the social media as well. And so
Why do you think it's why do you think that is? Like easier to get siloed?
I just think someone sees a need for it and it's really easy for them to just go use a tool they're already using, like ChatGPT. And so it's like my job is to post on social media every day and or write blog posts on our website or come up with ideas. And like they're just going to use the tool they're already using
Yeah.
instead of like using something that already has company wide information.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
True.
that's my
Yeah.
big thing. If you're doing social media, like make sure that what you're doing isn't also useful, like AI wise to the rest of the business, and also ask if there's other AI services being used.
Yeah, for sure. There's a roadmap here that talks about how if a business that's not really using AI could introduce it this year,
Yeah,
and it's broken out into a 12-month thing. And
cool.
the first months 1 to 3. So phase 1 is a single department pilot. And this article recommends the department with the highest potential ROI, which is going to be the marketing.
Yeah.
So kind of put your marketing team or person or yourself in charge of kind of developing the entire AI flow that the whole company will end up using. And then
Yeah, that's
start
good.
tracking it right away so you can actually determine if it's saving you time or not.
Mhm.
And then phase 2, so this says if positive ROI is actually shown, continue to phase 2. If not, then maybe your business, it's just not ready to use AI.
Yeah.
But you expand within the same department. So if you have multiple marketing people, everyone gets to start using it, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if it's not ROIing, like you're probably using it the wrong way.
Yeah. I feel like there's got to be some ROI, especially
Yeah.
like with the cheaper, subscriptions that you can get right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The social media thing and the brainstorming ideas for social media is huge. So customer service, like that makes total sense. Like that's a very cut and dry. I guess we could talk about it a little bit, but most customer service stuff, I think like you buy a service or you pay for some subscription, you give it information on how you want it to handle things and when you want it to escalate to a human, and then you put a widget on your site. I think that's probably honestly higher than marketing content, just because there's so much. Like, it's not that I don't trust the article, but I think like that's actual people's time saved. Maybe it's very close between the two, because marketing
Yeah.
content, so many people write content with AI and they don't even check it.
Yeah.
But some people are really good with getting good content from ChatGPT. But customer service is a very clean winner. The bottom 3 though are interesting. So finances, what were the details on the finances? Like, how did it classify that?
Well, it was talking about how there's a weaker ROI there just due to the need of like complex financial modeling, whereas these
Yeah.
smaller businesses don't have as much data. It does say AI really excels at like invoice categorization. So like tracking your expenses and basic bookkeeping, like it's really
Yeah.
good for that. But for more like financial analysis of the company, tax prep, stuff like that,
Yeah.
maybe it's not the best right now.
Yeah. Until like TurboTax, Rocket Money, all those services like are building really good models, like people just aren't going to trust it. We're probably 5 to 10 years away from people trusting it enough. Because right now there's not ROI because some accountant has to still go in there and can't trust the numbers. Like, imagine the first spreadsheets that had formulas in them. Like, accountants were for sure double checking those until we were using those formulas. And now it's like part of the job.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And I think we will definitely get there before too long to where we are trusting these systems. But
Yeah. And it's same with legal and compliance. Like, we don't trust them yet. There's a couple startups that are trying to do like AI lawyers, but it hasn't worked because you still have to have people double check it. We don't trust it
right.
enough.
Yeah. I was just going to wrap it up with the businesses that will benefit most from AI in 2026 are not the ones with the biggest budgets or the most sophisticated technology. It's going to be the businesses that have clear policies, train their teams on how to use those tools, and then the discipline to measure results before you continue scaling those tools.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well said.
Thanks. It was from the article.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, you want to close us out here?
Yep. Yeah, thanks for listening to this. If you like these little quick business news updates, be sure to come back every day. We release these daily.
And if you're a small business owner and you're looking to put AI into your business, go to infactodigital.com. You'll see a call to action there for our free small business AI webinar. Next one is coming up soon, so go check that out.
Yeah, go sign up.
Link in the description as well.
Cool. See ya.